was in an Uber and a guy said in Sydney said, "Oh, you don't want to go down there because it's a bunch of libos."
Huh.
And I was like, "What, like lesbians?" And he's like, "No, Lebanese." And I was like,
"Oh,
there's probably like 4 million Lebanese people in the world, and they had a slur for it. You know, it's just like it's like dedication to the game over there. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like, but some guy, I guess we were in Melbourne, and I just like unintelligible, like blah, 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 you know, like just I thought he was heckling or something during my stand-up set. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're never going to be on a fucking podcast for ugly men. Or I said something like that.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd was like, woo! And then I got back and like on Twitter, they were like, good on Adam for standing up to those racists at the show in Melbourne.
I didn't even know what he was saying.
They were like saying like apparently like reprehensible slurs about Aboriginals.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but I was accidentally lost. I was like, yeah, it was on purpose, actually.
You got to claim it
I
now.
could tell. I could tell what he was saying. I would have told him to shut the fuck up if I heard him. But like, I don't think racism is cool. But it's what's cooler than that is accidentally defeating racism.
Right.
I think. I think we were associated with the left in 2016 when we were coming up, and then we did. But like, I think people attached politics to Come Town. I think we were all pretty much like, you know, Bernie socialists, like
but
social democrats.
You could listen to like a week of episodes and not hear a political discussion. It wasn't a political podcast.
No, it was 30-year-old men behaving like babies. Yeah. You know, and then people are like the avant-garde dirtbag, you know, it's just like, it's like, but it's like, we're not qualified.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I try not to like intellectualize it. I do think that it should die. I do think that like, that part of the project of like doing the Adam Freeland show is like,
I was going to ask you about that.
Like,
you've got a very different approach now.
Yeah, I mean, like the joke was like, we kind of like filled like an ego, super ego thing. There was like a fat, horny guy. There was like a sardonic, like dark genius, you know? And then there's like a guy, like a nebbishy, like allergies Jew. And so like, I think that's kind of what the format, how it worked. But I guess initially the joke was that we're going to turn just the one that, you know, people call gay on the internet and send anti-Semitic DMs to into a public intellectual style talk show host. I mean, that's what the joke was, and it kind of accidentally has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know how we didn't even know how a camera worked, but no, I mean, I think I kind of like, I didn't really know how to do interviews at first. I think I kind of sucked, and I'm not that good yet. I'm learning from you. What are you talking about? I want to get better. I think I literally Googled journalism. You know that? At the beginning. I looked at the Wikipedia for journalism.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like as a stand-up, like the only interaction you get is like by doing crowd work, which is like naturally like exploitive. Like it's like, what do you do for a living? The guy's like, oh, I'm a kindergarten teacher, and you're like, well, you're a pedophile. You know, like everyone laughs and like
it's antagonistic.
But it's like you can't do an interview that way, right? Because then
you can, but then no one comes back for the next episode.
Well, it's just like it's maybe unpleasant. I think Nick kind of he kind of set me on the right track, and of course it was in the form of an insult, but like he was like, I don't understand why you have this fucking affect. Like it's so unpleasant to watch. Like when I first started doing the interviews, and I was like, why? I was like, here we go again, tell me what I'm doing wrong. And he's like, no, you're like a really nice guy, and like people like to be around you. And he's like, why don't you just do something like that? So then I was like, oh, I have to figure out how to actually interview people and like but then I was like trying to see who's good at interviewing. So I was like, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess Joe Rogan's good. But then like, I was like, what he does is like, I think he just, everything anyone says is, he's like, that's blowing my mind, you know? So like the guest feels like they're crushing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like he'll have Bernie
Lex
on.
Friedman too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So like it's kind of like, accidentally being like, I mean, no, I would love to, anytime, I'd love to come on. And I'm sure Joe's not watching this, but like, yeah, so like he'll have Bernie on, he'll be like, that's fucking trippy, man. And then he'll have like, some fucking workout Nazi guy, and he'd be like, "You're fucking blowing my mind," you know, like, you know. So the guest is disarmed by that, but I can't really like mimic that. And then it kind of like clicked. It was like, I don't know if I've ever said this, but I used to listen to Stern, just like a lot of.
I was gonna ask. Yeah,
and like
right.
I would be late to first period because I'd be like in my friend's mom's like.
We're I think the exact same age. So
you're 37.
Grew up 38 now. Yeah. Grew up in a very similar media environment.
Yeah. So I'd listen to Stern, and like he was just the master, like because like what he would do really, this is really inside the actor studio here. What he would do is like within the first 90 seconds, he would ingratiate himself. And like he would be your best friend like within like instantly. And like just seeing him work that way in that context, then he could get anything out of you after that fact.
I see.
My modification of the Howard thing is like, no, like, you know, like no one likes like a know-it-all, right?
Right.
So if I like demean myself enough, and if I'm like, I'm a fucking schmuck enough, like off the bat, then the guest has like a choice, like to go two roads. They could either continue to be like, I'm smarter than you,
right? Or
they could like come down, like they could.
I see.
It can disarm them. Yeah.
Right.
That's my gimmick. I don't even know if I want to. Now everyone's gonna do this crap.
Okay, we'll cut that part out.
You have no idea the power of a truly mediocre man. AI will never be able to. Yeah, like so, but like, truly, it's like, think about it this way: like, that guy, who's that slob that's like in the Senate or some crap? That like nasty, like the guy that just wears a hoodie and stuff. Fetterman.
Oh yeah,
Fetterman.
John Fetterman.
Yeah. Right. Who's that monster? Put on a shirt.
Right.
What the hell happened to fucking...
working class people dress like shit, I guess. So.
It's the government. Just put on a fucking shirt, dude. It's disrespect. I'm sorry. It's just gotten like trashy. When I saw like, there was like a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene and like AOC like being like, with your ratty ass hair, like in a committee hearing, and I was like, just be in Skull and Bones. Like I miss it when your dad killed Kennedy, right? Like that's who should be in the government. I got this job because my dad killed Martin Luther King and Kennedy.
We need a better class of criminals. Yeah.
We need ghouls back. Now it's like fucking Springer. Yeah, but Fetterman like just had that stroke. Do you remember?
Right.
And so he could not like put a sentence together. And then he was running against that fucking guy, Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
But Dr. Oz, like America detests a smug know-it-all so much.
Dr. Oz is now what, like the head of some health department? Didn't he just get this appointment?
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan. Anytime you want to have me on, Dr. Oz. No, but like a guy that could not speak, right?
Yeah,
Beat a guy that was like just such a dickhead,
right?
Like such a like oh seriously, yeah, like just such a, because like we detest like smug know-it-alls, like like America just hates that.
Has it always been that way? I always go back to this reference of like, in 1967, there was William F. Buckley and Michael Harrington that had an uninterrupted like 2-hour conversation on I don't know, like PBS or some kind of accessible cable channel. And I wonder if maybe there was a period in which like people used to like Christopher Hitchens, for example, and like public intellectuals. Is this a more recent development? Was there a period in which we did respect discourse?
Well, do you have to be a smug know-it-all? I mean, I guess like like Hitchens was, but like what?
Dr. Oz is not.
How is Hitchens like selling on the road? Like, right? Like,
I don't know.
Was he doing MSG? I think he was like big, like on when he would go on politically incorrect.
Yeah.
And I think he would sell books for sure. But like, okay, we have a notion of authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? Where if you are out